Hey everyone, it's your host Ernest here at my favorite ice cream place, Jeremiah's. I'm here with the owner
Rachel
and Elisa. Hey, we're outside of Jeremiah's. We got the world famous gelatis here. Hey, y'all better come get it. They're opening a new location. When's the new location being open?
March 7th.
March 7th on West Tennessee Street. Y'all come get it. Tell them Ernest sent you. Hey everyone, back with another episode of Sit Down. I'm your host Ernest. We got Jordan here, and today we got a special guest today, man. Starting NFL quarterback for the Titans, Will Levis, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Excited to talk some ball and talk whatever you guys have in mind.
I appreciate you hopping on first and foremost, because I ain't gonna lie. We was just in Beaver. Now this man on my TV, so I ain't gonna lie, busy man. So we appreciate you hopping on, bro. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we get into it, I'm gonna tell my story, my first interaction with Will. Will probably don't even remember this story. But so it was for me. Will, did you come in summer 1 or did you come in summer 2?
Summer 1. It was me,
Judge,
Pat, and PJ, summer 1.
So Will and all them was already up there. So I know I had to come late a little bit. So I came in June. So it was right when we was getting up there. A couple of the guys we were in the Haluba, literally first time ever doing something at Penn State. This was before like my heart and everything like that. So we was in the indoor. We warming up doing like one-on-ones. The O-line was over there doing their little one-on-ones and stuff. And so we warming up, stretching. So obviously Will, QB1, he had the ball. So I said, Will, let me see the ball. I ain't gonna lie, Ern, he tried me, bro.
What he did?
He sized me. He said, I don't throw the ball to DBs. I said, okay, he gonna be different. Talk a little bit about that. Like, where does that competitive edge come from? Because I'm from Florida. I said, oh, what are you talking about? So where does that competitive edge come from? Like, especially with you being in high school, coming from the state of Connecticut, like where it's not really known as a football state, but like, where did that confidence and that competitive edge come from at such an early age?
Yeah, honestly, I heard the first person who took that actually seriously, and I kind of heard, I was like, damn, like that's a good mentality to have. Like work with your guys, and obviously I'm boys with everyone on the team, but there's that got to be that sense of competitiveness with the offensive, defensive, sure. even on the same team. And it was Dak Prescott, I think, was the first person I heard in like an interview or something say that. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like I kind of like took that and kind of made it my own. So I got to give props to him.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah. It caught me so off guard to a point. I was like, oh, he for real. But Will definitely a good dude. So we appreciate that. And then, like I said, you being from Connecticut coming out, I think you were the number 2 player in the state of Connecticut. Just what made you choose Penn State?
Yeah, it was honestly a really interesting recruiting process for me. Quarterbacks typically commit pretty early. So, right. You see guys commit as early as freshman, sophomore year. I wasn't that big of a recruit coming out of Connecticut, kind of hard to get noticed and everything. So my process started kind of late. I was first kind of getting like smaller schools like Ivy League that turned into like MAC schools. And then I finally started getting some Power 5 offers. And Justin Fields was the quarterback commit for the 2018 class at the time. So Penn State had their quarterback, so it wasn't even really a thought. And then when he decommitted and decided to go to Georgia, Coach Spence, or the D-line coach for Penn State when we were there, Coach Chaos, he was the recruiting coordinator for my area in Connecticut. He's a Hartford guy, and he called me. He's like, hey, like we want you to come down and camp, and maybe if you perform well, you get an offer. So this was late in the summer, going into my senior year. I was just about to make a decision. I was actually probably going to go to Iowa, and then I knew that if I got the offer at that camp, that I was gonna commit right away, because I mean it was the best combination of athletics. It was definitely the most competitive football school that I would have had an offer from. Right. Academics, I knew I wanted to go into the business school, and they had a really good business program. Social life, I mean, it's hell of a fun school to go to. And then also, like, I'm only a 5-hour drive from home, so it was the biggest football within like a driving distance for my family. So all of it made sense, and I did get the offer, and I committed right there on the spot.
I appreciate that for that story, because I remember when you committed. Like, I just watched your film. I was like, bro, his film's stupid, bro. Because it's like Jay Fields, like he was one. We was at a 7-on-7 tournament out in Florida at IMG, and he got me to commit. So when he decommitted, now we're like, we don't have no quarterback in the class. But when Will committed, he was like, man, we got one. So now I definitely appreciate you for letting us know about that. And so just in terms of your time at Penn State, obviously any situation, like especially as a quarterback, you want to come in and be the guy. And you obviously you didn't experience that, but got to experience that going to Kentucky. Just when did Kentucky become a thought, and how did that decision come out for you?
Yeah, it was a gradual decision. Obviously, well, when I committed, I wasn't looking at the depth chart or anything. I was really just considering like what I just explained out to you. So I was the really the sixth guy on the depth chart when I got there. It was Trace, Tommy, Jake Zembeck was still healthy at that point.
Yeah.
Sean, and then technically Schuster in front of me too.
Yeah.
And then me. So Sean, and then also Sean being just 1 year above me. It's kind of tough when you have a guy that, beats you out when we're competing for that job in that second year, and he's just 1 year above. When you, as a quarterback, it's pretty important to get more than 1 year of starting in college before you go and play in the league. So it was a weird situation. I was going to keep competing and then hopefully maybe get an opportunity to compete for the starting job again. And even though I did start a couple games and contributed to a lot of wins in those couple years, it was a weird situation. And about a year before I transferred, I kind of thought that, hey, a year from now I might want to transfer. So that's when I started like loading up on credits, and it was pre-transfer portal, so you had to be like a graduate to be immediately eligible. So that's how it all went down, and it got to that point after that COVID year where I was just kind of in that same kind of limbo type situation where I just wasn't getting the ops that I wanted, and I kind of just played the field in the transfer portal, and Kentucky came up to me and showed their belief in me, and I just went with it. So pretty crazy how it all happened, but I definitely thought I made the right decision. But loved my time at Penn State. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
And ain't no definitely you definitely made the right decision. Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, the way that played out for you, I feel like at the end of the day, like
perfect. Honestly.
Everything happens for a reason. Perfect, literally.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, and
I ain't gonna lie to you, my bad.
I was going to say I had some great coaches and some great teammates and everything at Penn State, but I mean, I really just wanted to play ball. And if I wasn't going to get that opportunity to play the quarterback position the way that I knew I wanted to and needed to get me ready for that next level. So I was grateful for Kentucky to give me that opportunity and give me a couple of years under my belt before I made the transition.
Yeah, man, because honestly, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. It's your opportunities, your life. At the end of the day, they can have you do whatever you want them to do. But at the end of the day, if that's not how you see yourself or perceive yourself, you make the appropriate move. So I'm glad you did that. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Will. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You went to play at Penn State and then you went to Kentucky. So how did it like feel? With your body of work, and you had in Kentucky, that you put all the thing you put on film, everything you did, leadership, everything coming in, changing the program around. Like, how did that feel to do all that and then slide to the second round when many people believed you were going to be the first round pick? Like, talk about
the world thought he was going to be a first round. We're gonna put it out there. The world thought.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, and to even be a possibility that I could be a first round pick after that year was crazy. And obviously nothing's guaranteed. I wasn't assuming anything was going to happen. But based on the information that I gathered from people that know a whole lot more about me, about just the scene and everything, like my agent and people that I trust, like I still thought like, all points led to me being a first round pick still. So like going into Kansas City, going to the draft, like knowing that I had a shot at going, anywhere as early as probably like 3, and then up to like 15, I felt comfortable in that range. But I did know that if I got past that middle of the first round mark, then it'd be a long night because usually that second half of teams picking, they're not picking early because they don't need a quarterback. And so once you get past that like 15 mark, it's kind of like, oh shit, like how's this gonna go? And hopefully like a team maybe trades up for me from the second round back up to the first to get that 4th year option or whatever that may be. But I'm just glad I got picked eventually. And it was a really tough night, and with all the cameras on me and all the jokes and everything that people would talk about it, but I was proud of how we handled it. And all I know is I ended up where I deserve to be and where I need to be, which is right here.
So then that leads me to my next question, man. So how did it feel to finally get the call, like to stop the slide, man, and just talk about like how Tennessee has embraced you so far and like what you're looking forward to from them this season.
Yeah, this is a funny story actually. We left that next morning from Kansas City to go back home. I had a big family party planned. Like, we were anticipating that I was going to get drafted in the first round, like fly back, have a family party the next day. I'm pissed off. Like, I'm just trying to get back home and hopefully get the call. And I'm on the phone with my agent about all the different scenarios, possibilities. He's telling me like worst case scenario, you might be falling. It's like late second, early third at this point, like depending on like
third
who
is
really
crazy.
like,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna
And
not saying a third round pick is bad, but for you, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I had to be ready for that situation. So we're just going through all the different scenarios, like yada yada yada. My flight ends up getting delayed. We get stuck on the runway in New York. We get caught in rush hour traffic in the city. So it turned from like a less than 2 hour drive home goes to like a 3.5 hour drive home. The draft is starting as I'm pulling into my driveway, so I'm not even in front of a TV, and I'm starving at this point too. Like I haven't eaten all day. I'm like, I just want to eat some food.
Mm-hmm.
I open the door and my TV's on, and that's when Joey Porter's name gets picked, and another former teammate of mine who got picked right before me to Pittsburgh. And so I'm like, oh, cool, like good for Joey, like playing for his pops team, all that, and I'm just stuffing my face with like chicken cutlet at this point, and and then I get a call from a number, and I'm like, everyone shut the fuck up, like whatever, pick it up, and it's Ran, our GM, and just everything, all the disappointment, all the negative emotions from the previous 24 hours, all of that just faded right away, washed away. I started getting emotional, definitely cried a little bit with my family. It was an awesome moment, and everything since then here with the team has been incredible, and it was a good first year for sure. I'm looking forward to keep working for him.
Nah, we definitely can tell, especially from the moment you stepped on the field. I know your first game didn't replay as much, but that next game, when you started from there, it wasn't no looking back in Tennessee about who that quarterback was.
I tell you what, Will, like I said, I didn't watch many of your games in college. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, but I really started paying attention to you for real was that Monday night game down in Miami. He got something, you know what I'm saying? Like you moved, bro. Like it was a great game.
That was so much fun. That was definitely like the craziest comeback I ever been a part of, in terms of just like statistic improbability of that happening.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, and they're a heck of a team. They're all geared up for a Monday night game. It's a party there at Hard Rock Stadium. They're all thinking that they're going to whip up on us, 14-point underdogs, and scoring twice in the span of a minute and a half, and then shutting them up real quick. That was really fun.
You hear the dog. That's why I was mad. That's why I was mad, because he looked at me and said, "I don't throw the ball DBs." I said, "This guy's serious. He's serious." But you hear it, bro. So
I hear it, bro. Like I said,
okay, I'm not tripping. I'm making sure.
The game was actually like really crazy. Like I know you played it, so you experienced it, but like watching it, because I'm doing homework, bro. I'm looking. The next thing I know, bro, the Titans, the game is tied up, bro. I'm like, whoa.
Got you. So obviously, with you being drafted second round to the Titans, where did you think you were going to go? Was there a couple places where you thought you were going to land, or like when that second round, did you kind of know Tennessee?
Yeah. I mean, I thought they were going to be the best, or highest probability of which team would be picking me in that second round. But going back to the first, like I saw, a handful of potential landing spots. I did not. It was funny. I guess there was a post or something going around, a rumor that I was telling my family or telling people that I was going to be going number 1 overall, and my odds for going number 1 overall started like jumping up, and because people bet on that stuff, and so like that's also paying me as a bad guy too, because now it's like people are like, oh, Will Levis is telling people he's going number 1. That never happened. That was just some random person on Reddit trying to like spread some crazy stuff. And I'm sorry for whoever lost any money betting on me to go first, but I would have told you not to.
It was betting bread for real.
Oh yes,
for sure. Yeah,
I remember this so vivid. Like this crazy.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The media. I don't know, bro. The media. that's tough.
So I did not expect to go first overall. Carolina invited me out to, for a top 30 visit, but I didn't get the vibe that they were that seriously interested. Houston, I saw some potential there. Didn't feel too strong about it, but Indy, Indy, I really felt strongly about, and I thought that they really liked me, and it was up in the air between me and Anthony, and we didn't really know what was going to happen until that day of, and they ended up going with Anthony. And then after that, there's a couple more, Vegas, Tampa, Atlanta, that were like maybes, like New Orleans, even like maybes. But Tennessee was really like the other like surefire like possibility. And then when they didn't take me in the first round after that, I knew that could be a long night, like I said. But
who did Tennessee take in the first round?
Peter Skoronsky. He's our starting guard from Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, heck of a pick. He had a really good year for us this year, and he's one of my better friends on the team too. So I'm glad that we got him on the squad.
Yeah, he a balling for sure. And then talk about a little bit about your situation, obviously coming in as a second round pick, with you coming in not being the starter right away, but second half of the season, obviously being promoted to the starter, starting the last 8 games. What's the difference in terms of like trying to take over a locker room at that point? Like, because obviously normally if you know first round quarterback, majority of the time you're gonna come in, start, take over the locker room that way. Like, what's the difference in that part of trying to take over the locker room, coming in as a starter starting halfway through the year?
Yeah, it's hard to be a leader the way you want to when you're not the starter,
Right.
It's hard, like you don't want to step on the starter's toes or like try to like be too vocal and like be, someone that hasn't earned any respect at all either because they haven't played any ball yet.
At the end of the day, it's still the starter's team, quote unquote.
For sure. And I kind of had to deal with that a little at Penn State too. Like I always felt like I led by example and I was a good teammate and everything, but it was Sean's team and I understood that. And I wasn't able to grow in the way I wanted to as a leader until I got to Kentucky, until I got the job there and had the full off season to be able to be the guy and to, go through that. So then I was kind of back to where I was at Penn State when I got to Tennessee with like, this is Ryan's team. Like I'm here to work. I'm here to just shut up and learn from him and learn from everybody else and lead by example. And when I did get the opportunity to start playing and when I became the starter, it's hard to like flip that switch mid-season when you haven't had like that connection with the guys throughout the year. So I felt like I did a good job of feeling it out and becoming more comfortable, in my leadership, decisions or my leadership strategies with the team. And as the year went on, I was able to get more comfortable, but that's an area that I'm excited to really dive deep into this offseason and, just hopefully just having a better feel of the locker room and just being a better teammate and just a motivator for these guys. So I'm looking forward to undertaking that challenge.
Nah, definitely appreciate it. It's 2 different scenarios. Like it eliminates all the uncertainty, like going into a situation where it's like, okay, like now I can do what I've been planning to do, like you said, like at Kentucky. So definitely a big year ahead of you for that. But just recapping off your rookie year, what do you think is the biggest thing that you learned from your rookie year, or looking back with all the information you know now, is there anything you would have done differently?
I'd say I would have even tried to be even more of a leader. Like even though I was still trying to figure it out and I wasn't trying to jump into it, like I feel like I could have been a little more vocal or been a little bit more connecting with the guys. But I did a decent job of it, but that's just in the forefront of my mind because I know that that's a big priority for me this offseason. But I feel like what I understood and what I realized very quickly was just how mentally taxing it is. Like it's such a long season, and even when you're not playing, or especially when you're not playing, actually, when you're kind of sitting around watching, it feels that much longer. But I mean, your rookie year, guys will tell you like you play your last game of college ball, you play your bowl game, you go to whatever Senior Bowl or something if you have that, and you do your draft prep and you go into your meetings and all that, and you're right into your rookie year. So it's just this nonstop, just like whirlwind of a year that it's impossible to not hit that kind of wall. So it was just really important to make sure to bring your A game every day and just have the right mentality when you step into the building of being a professional, and regardless of how tired you are or how many weeks in a row you feel like you've been doing the same thing or how run down your body might feel. It's hard in college. It's twice as hard in the NFL, and that was realized very quickly, and I was able to snap out of it and get myself in the right mindset. But it's definitely different at this level, but wouldn't want it any other way. Best job in the world. It's all worth it at the end of the day.
Dang.
So you was talking about like, hey, hitting the rookie wall and feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and again. Like, what helped you? Like, what kept you motivated during that time until you eventually took over?
Yeah, I think I did a decent job of still trying to prepare as if I was the starter. When I wasn't, I think it was actually a week before our London game, which was the last game before I started starting, where I talked to my coach and I was like, hey, like I'm definitely like I feel good about my preparation, but I know deep down in my heart that if I was starting, I'd be doing this a little differently. I'd be taking this a little more seriously. So like help me out here. So I started flipping it there and really taking it up a little bit of a notch to where I was closer to preparing as if I knew if I would have been if I was starting. And then weirdly enough, just a few weeks after that is when I actually do get the opportunity to start for the first time. So that flip in mindset before I even did get the job, I feel like helped me for when I did.
Yeah.
Got you. No, definitely. God definitely works in mysterious ways, and his timing is never off. So, like you said, like you was just having that conversation a couple weeks ago, and then, bam, like starting your first game. So now I appreciate you breaking that down for us, and then shifting a little bit away from your rookie year because obviously we have a lot going in front of you, a lot more to look forward to. But just in terms about you overall as a player, definitely have a unique skill set and a unique style. Not people don't understand how big of a human he is, pause, but like what do you kind of model your game after? Because like you're a big dude, strong arm, but like people don't know, like Will's a freak athlete too. So it's like having all these athletic gifts and intangibles, like who do you sort of model your game after, if any?
Yeah, I never really like pointed to one person that I ever modeled it from. Like I've talked to about a few guys that I've really enjoyed watching over the past couple of years, that do things that I don't do well, and that's why I loved watching them. Like my lower half and my movement, kind of in the pocket and all the movements that precede my throws. If you watch my college tape, I feel like put me into you know some bad situations sometimes and made me miss some throws. And even though I have all the arm strength in the world, if I'm not able to control my lower body, I'm not going to be able to put the ball where it needs to be. So I'd say Joe Burrow is one of those guys that does a great job of keeping that lower body so calm and getting his base in the right position to be able to deliver a ball however he can, wherever he can. So I've pointed to him as someone that I've seen, and it's funny, I'm watching a whole lot more of him now because our new head coach and our system there came from Cincinnati. So that's one. But yeah, I mean, I think how I use my body and my athleticism is definitely a little unique. I wouldn't call myself like the fastest guy, but I'm a pretty efficient runner and a tough runner. But I'm trying to understand that it's not the time and place to lower your shoulder anymore. I'm not the third down running back like I was at Penn State. I'm getting down and sliding when I need to now. So getting better there, but still want to use my body and my athleticism to my advantage when I can.
Now that you brought that up, at being at Penn State, where there was a period of time like when we knew kind of like it's such to say, like we knew like when Will was in the game, there was going to definitely try to call a run. Like, how is that mentality shift? Because like you as a competitor, like you as a dog, like you don't want to slide. Like, yeah, you probably want to slide to protect yourself, but like you want to do anything to win for your team. Like, how is that mindset? Like trying to differentiate between protecting yourself and then at the end of the day, like you wanting to go out and do all you can for the guys.
I think it's just really being tuned into the situation and understanding, like even pre-snap, like it might be something that goes through my mind, like, hey, it's 3rd and 15. Like if I break one out of the pocket and I got to scramble and I'm only getting 5-6 yards, like there's no need to take any hits, like get down. But if it's 3rd and 5 in the same situation, like I might be trying to lower a shoulder and get the first down or make someone miss. So that's part of it. That's part of the mental game that you're always playing and understanding, and the situational football aspect of it is definitely really important to consider. But it's hard, like being a guy that has never played that way. Like, I mean, I was a running back and a linebacker in youth football, and that turned into me playing that same way when I was running in between the tackle box at every other level up to this point. So flipping the mindset, and or at least trying to flip the mindset, it's definitely been difficult. but I know how important it is, and I know that even though there's all this other stuff on me mentally, that's another thing that I'm able to handle, and I'm able to protect myself and protect my team.
Sure. Gotta protect the franchise, boy. You gotta protect the franchise.
Franchise can't get hurt. Franchise get hurt. It's gonna be a long season.
Right.
It's gonna be a long season. But so you talking about taking stuff from other quarterbacks and things of that nature, like what you look like. You say you looked at Joe Burrow for his footwork to see like how he uses his base, so he can make sure he throws the ball correctly. We got something for you here, man. So we're gonna talk about building the perfect QB. So the first category, building the QB is arm strength. Who would you say, like, if you build the perfect QB, whose arm strength would you put to make this QB?
Himself.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to use myself for any of these, but are we talking current? Are we talking current guys?
Any point?
We talk about your genuine answers to the question.
Yeah, keep it real.
You say you ain't gonna use, so yeah, you gonna be humble. But I seen this man throw some stuff off his knee, bro.
Yeah, no,
out of there.
Since it's probably the trait that of the rest that I think that I give myself, I'll give myself this one.
Give yourself
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Give himself that.
Okay.
So then next we got accuracy.
Ooh, accuracy. Drew Brees.
Okay.
Dang.
That's a great pick.
That's a good one. That's a great pick. I ain't gonna lie.
Leadership.
Tom Brady.
Well,
Tom Brady, just the ultimate challenger. I mean, led his team to the most Super Bowls of anyone else. Gotta go him.
All right. Mobility.
Lamar. I mean, most exciting NFL quarterback ever, I think, in terms of athleticism and playmaking ability. And he's got another much deserved MVP coming his way. So yeah, Lamar.
So then we got the clutch gene.
Ooh. I'm gonna go back and change it.
I feel like the obvious
I'm
answer
gonna
is
say
Tom Brady,
Peyton
but
for
outside of
leadership.
Brady, who would it be?
I'm gonna say Peyton for leadership, and I'll do Brady for clutch.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that. The last one is like,
I ain't gonna lie,
that's a great answer.
Yeah.
But the last one, so we got like
dog. What's the last one?
Like who got
dog?
Who got like the most heart, man? Like you get them the ball, they gonna make something happen, make something shake. Game on the line.
I'm gonna say Joe. I mean, Joe's got some ice in his veins, and he's shown that, and he's been able to show up big time in some big games in his young career. So he comes to mind.
This is a great answer, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't gonna lie. That's a great. You can't go wrong with any of those.
Yeah.
And then just want to touch on a question that I've been seeing, especially I've been hearing a lot of answers from different guys, and just in terms of, I feel like now the NFL, especially with all the social media, so many avenues outside of football, like normally before, like people would like say like I want to have like this 20-year career, like I want to do everything that the game gives me, but then like I've been seeing people like Micah say like, oh, he would only want to play like 10 years and he's done, or like 7 years and he's done. Like, what do you want to get out the NFL? Do you have like a specific timeline? Is it like where your body feels? Is it things you want to accomplish? Like,
yeah, I think it's a lot to do with your body and keeping like a good feel and understanding where your body's at in your career, and obviously with a player like Micah in a more physical position, like it makes sense that he doesn't see himself playing as long as a quarterback or somebody else. But I mean, I want to play as long as I can. I want to be here for my whole career. I want to I'd love to play for the same team and win multiple championships and sign multiple contracts in the same city. So that's the greatest, I mean, like career path that I could think of for myself.
The franchise for real. Y'all heard that, Tennessee. He said he want to sign multiple contracts. So hey, they better be paying. Because by the time you up for a contract, they paying. But we ain't gonna get into all that. Talk about that. We're not gonna do it all.
I got a lot. I mean, I got a lot to prove still. So, well, we got some time, and try to get a chip before then, so then I can actually really earn my money.
Is the, I wouldn't say one team, but that longevity, does that go from, because obviously with you growing up in Connecticut, being a Brady fan, does that have anything to do with it? Like how when Brady was with New England for that long?
I would say so. I mean, I'm just thinking too of like the greatest ever across all sports. Like sure, MJ had his stint with the Wizards, but I mean, he was a both bull. really. And Kobe, like playing his whole career with the Lakers there. Tom playing his whole career there. And or at least most of his career there with New England. And even though Peyton playing those couple years with Denver, like he's a Colt at the end of the day, I feel like. So having a long career with one team, I'm sure Patty stays in Kansas City for, his whole career too. Like that's the mark of an organization truly believing in you to be the guy for an extended period of time. So it'd be cool to, have a career pan out that way.
Facts, yeah, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity too.
I tell you what, I think most of that goes into that, like the Mahomes, the Mahomes, Kobe's, like it's more the organization, honestly, than the player. Obviously, those are great players, but the organization all being like cohesive, everybody being on one accord, like believing in one guy. I think that goes like a long way into like having those long players with long tenured careers.
Facts. And then just based off of your rookie year, do you feel like you had a welcome to the NFL moment, or was like to a point where it's like, man, it's different it's different in college. If it was in game, off the field, on like the business side, the locker room, like what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
I'd say the one on-field moment where I was like, all right, dudes are a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, it's a little different now. It was down in Tampa Bay. It was a 3rd and goal. And I took a drop and I was a little too deep in the pocket and I was waiting on DeAndre to break on the goal line. So instead of stepping up, I was kind of holding on it. So definitely didn't help out my tackle there. But I just remember just getting yanked to the ground and being like, what the hell just happened? And I turn around and it's Vita Vea on top of me, and I look up at the screen, and I think he literally grabbed me with like 2 fingers, and like I'm 230 pounds, like, and he just dragged me down, and I was like, oh my goodness,
different. Vita Vea, different.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, that's crazy. But now going into another segment that we like to do, it's called the rapid fire segment. So it's gonna be a whole bunch of random questions. You just answer to your best of the ability. If it's a question you don't really know, just take it however you interpret it. You ready?
For sure.
All right. So since you're a Connecticut guy, we had to do the first one. Go to pizza order and where you order it whenever you back home.
Pepe's Pizza. Hopefully, we get a pizza spot down here in Nashville that rivals it, but we got the best pizza in the world. I'd say I'm definitely biased, but Pepe's Pizza, they're famous for their white clam pizza, and I get some fresh mozzarella on there, and then I'll do like half shrimp on it too. So it's definitely different. It's a very unique pizza. I'll do that, or I like sausage and cherry pepper. So it's like more of like a sweeter like kind of pepper with some sausage, and like on like a regular cheese pizza. Got to have it nice and thin and crispy. I like it when the crust is like damn near black. Like I need it that way. So that's it's really good.
Well, I gotta ask you this real quick. So I know you ain't no Tennessee. So how do you feel about the Nashville hot chicken sandwich? Like how you feel about that?
It's good. I'd like to think I had a decent spice tolerance, but like even with like the medium sometime here, like it gets pretty spicy. But they got some good spots. I think Hattie B's is my favorite that I've had. And that's definitely like the tourist spot, but I don't care. It's so good.
You still a tourist for real? Well, not really, but
I haven't been able to hit nearly as many like spots as I'd like to. You're so busy during the season and everything, but it's been cool to be able to check out the city a little bit since the season's been over.
Facts. Nah, I appreciate that. And then if you could pick any TV show or movie to star in, and you got to replace the character, what movie or show would it be, and what character are you starring as?
Entourage, Vinny Chase. So I don't know if you guys have watched Entourage, but that's one of my favorite shows.
Cool. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to get up on that one. I'm gonna have to get on that one. If you could jersey swap with any player from any sport, who would it be? It can be college or pro. Say, for instance, if you say Joe Burrow, it can be
LeBron.
Burrow or Cincinnati. Who would it be?
LeBron.
Ooh, what jersey? That's a good man right there, though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would do. If he could give me a Cleveland jersey, that'd be sweet. I'd like a Cleveland jersey.
His first time or his second time there?
Second time. I need the natty. I need the championship jersey.
Yeah, he need that chip jersey. Nah, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, now this is one that we've been asking the other quarterbacks who came on our show. Would you rather handpick from tackle to tackle your O-line or your whole receiving core and tight ends?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a really, really, really good question. I mean, I've always been a firm believer in everything starts up front. So I mean, I'm gonna go with the O-line, and I'm gonna make my receivers right.
That's facts. If you can be sponsored or endorsed by any company, who would it be?
Levi's jeans. Levi's jeans, hit me up. This is a partnership made in heaven. Let's make it work. I'm a big fan of your jeans, and it makes sense with my last name.
I was about to say with the last name, it definitely makes sense. Oh yeah, he's gonna get that. I ain't gonna lie. If you could, what's your favorite video game of all time?
Right now it's Apex Legends. I've been playing it for the last 4 or 5 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
So on and off, and that's the only one I've kind of played consistently. So of the battle royales and everything that I've played, like from Fortnite to like Warzone, that's been the most balanced and like most fun that I've had with any of them.
Shoot, bet. Fill in the blank. I hate when people
are disrespectful.
Respect. Flip it around. I love when people
love me. I don't know.
Would you rather be on the cup? Because I know with the college football game coming out this summer, throwback to if we had college football game during our time, would you rather be on the cover of NCAA or cover of Madden?
Oh, NCAA. I mean, I played a lot more NCAA than Madden. I mean, I was
That's a good man, Ern.
Yeah,
that's a good man. No. Good answer. You know, how far could you throw a Nerf ball? Like one of the ones that like whistle got the little tail on it? How far do you think you could throw that?
I would like to think, I mean, I think I could throw like an NFL ball like 70, 75. So like I'd like to think maybe 100. So probably, with an NFL, that'd be sick with a little crow hop.
100 is crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have to see that. I ain't gonna lie, you should record yourself doing that. That thing probably go viral.
That'd be crazy.
You definitely should, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
So on a cloudy day, bro, it's gonna get lost, bro.
Now you hear it. Pre-game music. Who your go-to artist that you listening to? I ain't gonna lie. Before you answer that question, this how I know when Will was real. That first interaction, I was like, I don't know. He a big Slime fan, Ern.
Oh, you lying?
Like Slime.
That's my favorite.
I'm about to say like it's been a tough year for me because if you were to ask my two favorite musical artists, I'd say Thug and Kanye. So I mean they're both in some shit right now. So
that's a rough
but
year.
I mean, they make good music.
Kanye, Thug, like some of my favorite artists ever, bro. Like I
ain't Thug, man.
Yeah, no, but I don't got a playlist or anything I listen to. I'll queue up like a few songs that I'm just feeling for that day. But Thug always makes his way on there for sure.
Yeah.
If you could own any sports team, what league would it be? Like it would be MLB, NBA, and what city would it be?
Boston Red Sox. I think that being a Boston fan growing up and spending a lot of time at Fenway, one of the most historic stadiums, historic franchises in all of sports. Probably worth more than any other one that I would also consider too. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. So he not relocating like on Madden, like we could relocate team. They staying in Boston. They're on mine.
Yeah.
Bucket list vacation. I seen you was somewhere crazy. I didn't know where you was, but what's your next bucket list vacation?
I need to make it back out to Europe. I was in Rome and Venice last spring, which was awesome. And there's a few cities out, like I want to go to Amsterdam. I want to go to Florence. And just a few other cities out there that hopefully at one point, maybe next off season, I can make like a couple week trip out there, which would be cool.
Yeah, I'll be what's up. Yeah, I'll be what's up. If you weren't a football player, what would you be?
Baseball player. I thought I was gonna play baseball in college.
What position?
I played third and short. I didn't really pitch, but I was always just more of a hitter. I could hit the shit out of the ball, but I love baseball, and I would still even like try to get in some swings and stuff in college while I could. And I've been itching to hit the cages out here, but I love baseball, and I definitely think I would have made it work there if it didn't work out in football.
All right, 2 more questions. I ain't gonna lie, these ones tough.
Okay.
Favorite teammate of all time. It can go back to high school, little league, whoever your favorite teammate was that you played with. Any sport too.
Okay. I would say I'd go all the way back to Little League baseball. I'd go to my boy Ray Miklos, God rest his soul, but he was one of the most incredible like hit the ball like he was a senior in high school when he was like 12 years old. Like it was ridiculous. Like anyone who thought they were good, like when you saw him play, like it was like, no, I suck. But he was like anytime he was up, you knew that it was either a home run or you're getting knocked in on an RBI. So he comes to mind because he had a pretty tragic thing that happened to him. But I got to give him his flowers.
Respect that. And last one. This is a tough one. I ain't gonna lie, Ern. I had to say this one in the vault.
Yeah.
Throughout your whole sports career, if you can go back to any game that you ever played in and do it all over again, win or loss, what game would you pick?
Hey, dig deep right here, Will. I know you got one.
So I'm going back to my last year at Kentucky. We're 4-0. We're playing against 4-0. We were 4-0 or 5-0, I forget. But anyways, we're both undefeated, playing Ole Miss at Ole Miss, and there's like a minute and a half left, and we call a screen on like the -30, and our OC had a just like an all goes like shot play called up for right afterwards because he's thinking, it's gonna get like 5-10 yards, whatever, and then we'll call the shot. But B takes it all the way down to like the +8. And this call's already been called in, so they're calling it in for us to get on the ball, hurry up, and throw a fade. And I'm kind of sitting there like, what? Like, there's like a minute left now. Like, we don't want to score too quick and give them too much time. And I'm like, screw it. Like, maybe he thinks like we're just trying to catch him off guard, whatever. Like, let's just try to throw this touchdown. And our slot receiver got hurt the play before, so Berrien was playing in the slot and had to get into the position that he wasn't usually in. So he's moving from one side to the other. I'm trying to get this snap off. He's setting his feet. And I think that he's set, and I take the snap and I throw what I think's the game-winning touchdown, but we get an illegal procedure called. Comes back 5 yards, and then next play I get strip sack, game over. And I think if we win that game, like I think the trajectory of that season goes like so much like better, and you never know what happens after that.
Because a lot of people don't know, like one loss like can really blow your season. Like when we lost to Indiana week 1, like we had big hopes for that year. After that game, it's over with.
Over. And then
that's not supposed to be what that's
changed
the whole thing,
crazy.
bro.
Yep.
Facts. We appreciate that. That's all we have for the rapid fire questions. People, that's for your fans to get to know a little bit more about you. So now we appreciate that. We definitely appreciate you hopping on the show. Definitely big time for us.
Yeah, this is huge, man. I would say I'm really appreciative that you got on the show with us, man. It means a lot.
I had a lot of fun with y'all. This was great.
Yes, sir. And then my last thing, if you could think of anybody who will be great on this show, who would it be?
Judge Culpepper. I think Judge has got some cool stories. Yep. I mean, he just beat cancer and played his last season in college football and is training for the NFL draft right now. He's got some awesome stories that I know. He's another Tampa boy, and you guys will be able to chop it up. So that he comes to mind.
We're going to get him on. I appreciate that. Judge, you here? You next. Now, we appreciate you hopping on, Will.
So, yeah, man, that's good.
Thank you guys again.
That's going to be the end of this episode. Thanks for watching, y'all.